Hello my friend, in this video I am going to show you the single release checklist that I've used to get over 4 million streams on Spotify so far, and let's dive right into this. So if you'd like to get a copy of this completely for free, there will be a link to it down in the description below, or if you just want to kind of listen to this video and take notes, it's all good to me. So jumping right into things, this is a 7-step Spotify release checklist, and this is actually what I've used to get the results that I've gotten so far, and it's what I still use today. This just makes things so much quicker. So diving right into it, the 7 steps are first submitting the song to the music distributor, then pitching the song to the Spotify editors, then preparing the video assets, preparing the website, scheduling Facebook and Instagram ads, scheduling social media posts, and then there's a bunch of simple post-release activities. Let's jump right back to the beginning and go into each one of these steps in a little bit more detail. So the first step, of course, is submitting your music to your music distributor. And generally, I like to do this 4 weeks before the release date. And in this checklist, you can see it's an interactive checklist. So there's a bunch of toggles that you can click to get more information on each of these steps. But essentially, I like to aim to get my music to the music distributor at least 4 weeks before release date. And just basically, this allows me enough time for the music to get into Spotify's system, and which will then allow enough time for you to pitch your song to the editor in the next step. So there's a couple of articles inside of this little toggle on this distributor step if you need any information on how you can get your music sent to Spotify as quickly as possible, particularly if you're using DistroKid. And if you do not have a music distributor yet, there's actually even a music distributor guide inside of this little toggle as well. So moving on to the next step, which is pitching the song to the Spotify editors. I usually like to do this about 1 to 2 weeks before release date, and when you click this little learn more tab, basically tells you that the reason that to do this is that obviously the further in advance that you submit to the Spotify editors, the better, but in my experience, 1 to 2 weeks seems more than enough. And at this point I've gotten on about like 15 to 20 Spotify editorial playlists. The first like 10 or 13 or so, I made a video about how I did it, which you could check out above. This step also goes into if you do not yet have the ability to pitch to the editors, so you don't have an official Spotify account, there is a link to an article that I wrote which will describe how you can do that as well. And if you already have access to Spotify for Artists, there is a Spotify for Artists app and dashboard guide that you can check out here. And real quick on this step as well, if you want any help pitching to the editors, I've also created a Spotify playlist editorial submission kind of guide, which you can check out above here. There's a bunch of tips that I go over, and I even do a live playlist pitch to the Spotify editors, and this pitch actually ended up getting like at least one editorial playlist placement, so you'll probably get a lot of value out of checking out that video as well. Then moving on to the next bit of the checklist, and as you can see here, the first kind of phase is distribution, which is submitting song to the music distributor and submitting the song to the Spotify editors. So next we move into the preparation stage. So this is what I usually like to do about just a week before release. Maybe it'll be a little bit longer if maybe something's going on in my life or anything like that. I just want to schedule it and get it out of the way. But generally, a week before release, I will prepare the video assets. So for this, the main 2 things that I usually do are I'll create kind of a teaser video for social media and a bunch of social media posts. And I usually just do a bunch of spinning rotating videos that I'll post as kind of promo posts for my social media. And then in addition to that, I will usually create video ads in kind of a similar style. So if you want to check out any of that stuff, you can click the learn more toggle, learn a little bit more about this stuff over here. Then the next thing as part of the preparation stage is preparing the website, which is kind of the smart link, and I again will do this 1 week before release. So for this, I usually kind of take a visual experience that ties in everything. So the ad will look quite similar to the website smart link, and this will have the Facebook pixel already integrated into the smart link and all that kind of stuff. If you want to check out how to build the smart links, I've also created a free course on building smart links. You can check out a link to that in the description below. Essentially, my strategy about using it, I don't like using HypeDid or ToneDen or any of those. I actually found a way to do it a bit cheaper and more flexible using WordPress and a premium theme. And with this combination, not only is it cheaper, but you can actually, well, it's a drag and drop editor, so you can make your smart links look like any combination of any of the smart links. So definitely check that out. And if you're a DistroKid user, Hyperfollow will definitely work, and I even did a little review of Hyperfollow above if you want to check that out. That perfectly works fine especially if you're starting out for the website portion of a single release strategy. So moving on from the preparation stage is the scheduling stage. And this honestly is one of my favorite parts of the stage, simply because you do all the prep work in advance, and then you get to schedule everything and you get to relax and just chill on release day. Such a good feeling. This is such a big part of it. So one of the first things is scheduling the Facebook and Instagram ads. Again, I'll do this 1 week before release, after I've created all of the assets for the release with the videos and the website and all that kind of stuff. Generally, this is the #1 way that I like to bring people over to my new releases, and this is a really good way to kind of start to hack the Spotify algorithm by sending targeted people over to that. If you want to learn a little bit more about the Spotify algorithm hack, you can check out the video above as well. Or if you check out this release checklist, there are links to more information inside of the little toggles as well. And then the next thing is scheduling the social media posts. And again, I'll do this 1 week before release. I hate doing it. But the way that I don't hate doing it. What I do hate doing is posting to social media every day. So what I do is I schedule. The main thing I do is I use the Facebook Creator Studio to schedule things out. And if you want a extra information on how, kind of a guide of how to use social media as a musician that hates posting to social media, I did do a video above as well that you can check out. And inside of the release checklist, there will be a link to a text version of the guide that you can check out to kind of get your social media strategy under wraps for your upcoming release. And then finally, on to the very last kind of section of the release checklist is the post-release activities. So basically, in the first 28 days or so of a song's release, I'll do some simple post-release activities, and you can check that out. Right here, it's basically tracking the daily streaming stats in a Spotify tracker, monitoring and adjusting the ads, replying to any Instagram comments. I've been falling off on this quite a bit lately because I'm getting a little bit overwhelmed with this kind of stuff, but it's generally something I would normally try to do. Sharing any important updates, so this might be stuff like getting on an editorial playlist or some kind of cool playlist, or hitting a cool stream count, so maybe 1,000 streams, 10,000 streams, anything like that. I think that's cool stuff to share. And then other than that, the next step is starting to prepare the next release for distribution, because again, my thoughts on how to really succeed in Spotify is by constantly putting out new music. It's just the way to do it. You can keep in front of people's attention a little bit more, and you can build a lot of momentum with the Spotify algorithm and get in front of the Spotify editors more. I think it's a huge part of it, and you can learn a lot more of it in this free checklist. I definitely encourage you to check it out. And then lastly, just kind of a little bit more information on this checklist. Again, the link is in the description if you'd like to check it out. There's information on how you can create a copy of it, so you can actually check off these boxes yourself as you're going through your own Spotify release that may be coming up. For each step, there's more information on how you could learn why this step is important and how you can do it properly. And then lastly, at the bottom, there is an additional resources checklist. So it shows how you can customize the checklist to your own desires and results. It has a link to the Spotify stream tracker that I did mention before. And then there's a bunch of related information and articles and guides and stuff like that you could check out as well. So it's a really cool interactive Spotify release checklist. It's just packed with information. It's not only just a couple of steps, but it shows you the steps. It shows you when you should complete the steps, how to complete the steps, and why you should complete the steps. So it's quite robust. So if you want to check it out, the link to that is in the description. Other than that, hopefully you found this video useful. If you did, like and subscribe and all that good stuff. And good luck on your next release. And I will see you in the next video, my friend. Have a good one.